There we are.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Stay Fishy Friday.
Happy Fishy Friday, everybody.
Are you seeing it on your phone?
Not yet.
We didn't even get through the opening screen.
It does this to me every damn time, man. I
You
gotta
can
go
do it.
completely out of it and then come back into it again.
Sometimes that's how technology is. You got to shut it
No,
off
it
and start
doesn't.
from the beginning.
Yeah. I mean, I'm watching it prior to the live, and then when we hit live, I gotta go out of that and then back into the live. Stupid.
See how
slow.
technology pisses off old people? You guys seeing us okay? He hasn't told me that we're live yet.
I'm not finding.
Loren says, is there an echo? Okay, Sugar Bear didn't apply it. We're good. We're live. So, all right, guys. Thanks for tuning in with us this Friday. And, it's been a crazy week. And, got lots of things to tell you. But first off, it's super rich. James Wise. Okay. Did Big Rich get a haircut? Yes. I cut my hair. I flow beat the shit out of it. Okay. My hair's still back here. But, the rest of it's cut down, cut off up top. I don't know, just from not having the bush up here and all that gray, I had such. Hang on a second. Yeah, I got to get into that in a little bit. But anyways, yeah, I got a haircut. I had a big handful of gray hair in my hand. And I threw it away, and I'm like, what the hell? And, it just makes me look younger being shorter haired. When I have that thick hair, I look older, So now I'm able, I'm still 279. I keep fluctuating between like 281, 279. I hit a plateau for like the last week because of all the food and stuff, Thanksgiving and shit. I didn't lose any weight this week, but for some reason, the loose skin got tightened up, and I'm able to fit into my old shirts now. So now you're going to see more and more shirts that I can wear of the 2Xs. Chris Chow says, are you guys giving any fish away during your live? We have never really done that before. That would be too hard to do, and deal with. I don't know who's on. I don't know what kind of fish tank you have. So, Josh puts out a video every Friday on the Ohio Fish Rescue business page on Facebook. He puts out a list every Friday and a video, and then people get a hold of him through that. And that's how we find our fish homes.
Without doing shipping, we really can't.
Yeah. So, yeah, Summerlee's right. Too hard to ensure a proper home.
True.
But yeah, this week here, I haven't lost no weight, but I did fit into the my older shirts. So now I've got a much bigger variety of clothes that I can try on and wear in my old clothes. I got flame shirts, I got dragon shirts, I got skull shirts, I got all kinds of shirts now. And this is my third shirt of that size, and it's not even that tight on me. It's loose, But I don't know. It just seems like, even though I haven't lost no weight, it feels like I've toned up more. I don't know if that makes any sense to you, to where I've lost more of the belly weight but gained more muscle. And I have been, lifting a little bit of weights and trying to make everything up here bigger. The chest, the arms, this, all this. I mean, my forearms are always good, but, a shape like that at 62 years old, I'm trying to get it much more defined and better. As I'm losing weight, gain a little bit of muscle too. Brickwood said, I wore a couple that you gave me. Dude, you left like all your shirts here. They're still hanging right there. right in this room. Chris Howe says, I have 2 red ear sliders. Would you be interested in giving them a better home? We got to be careful on not taking in all these other animals, you know, whether it be a duck or you know, a baby deer or you know, red-eared sliders, because we took in so many red-eared sliders trying to help that, you know, it was a problematic for us to find them a home, because if you call any turtle rescue, they're full up. They won't take no more. But I've never turned down anybody. So I keep trying to, you know, take in these other animals, but then we're stuck with them. And it's not that we're stuck with them. It's that we can't find them a home, you know, and it's a pain, but you know, yes, I will take them. Oh my God. Tyler says Rich is going to be Hans and Jerry's going to be Franz from Saturday Night Live.
Right.
Reset Gang says baby deer. Yeah, we've taken in so many things. Hedgehogs, you know, groundhogs, what do you call them? The little not hamsters, the gerbils. Taken in a bunch of them. We've taken in ducks, baby deer. You know, it's just it's. Joe Clem says someone needs a booster seat. He's already sitting on a 5-inch thick, you know, pad.
It might go up.
Ferrets I've taken in, yeah, of course. I've taken in all kinds of snakes, all kinds of them.
Does your dad still got those ferrets we set him up with?
Yeah.
Great.
Sugar Bear wants to know the drinking word for tonight.
Tracy?
I said Tracy, but someone else mentioned Bambi since she ain't been here in like 3 weeks.
Yeah, we're going to Bambi hunt.
Whichever one you guys want.
How about just missing women?
Harley Jeff says taking in many straight people too, Rich. Yes. I don't say new. As a matter of fact, I've got a couple, a young couple that they need 2 weeks. They're going to come here and stay here for the next couple weeks. And we're still trying to find, you know, DJ and his woman a place to stay. Reset Gang says, I want an otter so bad. You know what? So do I. They're so cute. They're so adorable. But the problem is they eat fish. They're good at catching fish.
And
I have fish in tanks.
And they don't mind for shit. They are completely independent animals, man.
Yeah.
There's no, you know, you don't give them, you don't train them to do tricks, man.
Canadian Fish Guy goes, Big Rich is definitely the alpha male of the OFR. Yeah, I think that's where we had the problem with, well, I said I wasn't going to bring her up tonight, but, you know, me and Skylar, she wants to be in so much charge, telling everybody what to do and how to do things, and I think that's where me and her butt heads. But I was on the pretense that I'm letting you live here. You know, she stayed here for like 2 years. Yeah, I'm letting you live here free. You should be nice to me. Don't try and take charge. You know, don't try and take over. Don't try and put me in my place. I mean, I'm being nice to you. I'm giving you a place to live. You should be appreciative and nice. And I think that's where we got off and butted heads. Summer Lee says your house, or I'm sorry, Andrew Holland says your house, your rules. Well, yeah, but I try not making any rules. You know, like when DJ and Steph came in, me and Jerry were fine with how we were doing dishes, how everything was done, you know. And then they come in, and then, you know, all of a sudden my sink is full of dishes all night long, everything and this and that. So I had to change the rules around to where if you come into the kitchen, you use any dishes, you wash them and put them back away. Leave that kitchen the way you found it. And now each person has to clean up after themselves. So if Jerry don't want to clean up, he won't cook. You know, so I don't know, but it seems to be working out, you know, this way, because before, you know, they'd be up at nighttime and they'd do all the dishes in the sink, and I'd wake up thinking I had dishes to do, and I didn't. Now they're being like, oh my God, we're cleaning up after you guys constantly. So and then, you know, I don't know, it just got out of hand, basically. And I don't like, see, I like my house being like a showroom house, like, you know, the condominiums. You come in, you look at this one, this is how all the other houses are. And in other words, everything has a place to go. Everything has its own place, and it should not be dirty like this, you know. And you know, it got out of hand, so we had to change the rules a little bit. We don't have a bunch of rules here. Basic common respect and clean up after yourself, you know. So
You know, you just call it wiping your own ass. If you can't wipe your own ass, you got no business living here.
we'll see that whole thing when you know Skylar was here. It was, you're living here free. Help me out around here. And you know, she was supposed to help me with Tracy. She was supposed to help with the cleaning of the house. And I never realized how fucking lazy she was, and you know how she disappear in her room for 3 or 4 days, not talk to any of us, come outside, do dishes, and then for the next week, that's all we heard was how much she worked. You know?
Oh, well, they go on to something else. People are already calling for the Skylar jar.
Yeah. So, anyways, you got to let me talk, Jerry. You got to stop. You got to let me talk.
I didn't tell
Which one?
no,
This?
whatever that is.
This whole thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Tyler Kerr says, cleaning up after yourself, that's called being a normal adult and keeping the house clean.
Or like I said,
Yeah, to
just
all
wiping
the
your
old
ass.
people I've had here, not many of them are adults. I don't even know what this is. Skylar Lee says, what kind of fish are you going to get me when you reach my pleco? Died. King Thistle passed away. He's 7 years old, and I'm sorry he died. What kind of fish are you going to get me for my 51 tank? What K?
I don't know. It's,
I'm sorry. That's too, I don't even understand. It's a lot of that.
yeah, I think we used to eliminate that one. Jimmy's here.
Oh, Jim Sheasley, what's up, buddy? Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, it has been a while.
We thought you were an avid OFR guy. You're the only guy that's got the OFR tattoo, but he hadn't been around. Now he's busy. He got a girlfriend and all that, so they're doing other things in life. I understand, Jim. Jesus Lizard said, I recently started using the dishwasher because we have a baby to cook for. Man, what a great invention. It is, but you know what the problem is? That damn dishwasher's always full. You got to empty it to put more in every damn time. Canadian Fish Guy goes, do you ship your OFR merch to Canada by chance? If you go on to Spring or under any video, there's like a little bar underneath of our merch and clothing line and stuff. You can click on that. They'll ship it anywhere in the world. But I don't have merch here that's sitting out there that I could just ship to anybody. You know what I'm saying? Mandy Davies, I like the way you think. Says, you got a routine, Rich. They got to give you respect too. It's your home. So anyway, these other people are moving it. They're a younger couple, and I guess she used to come here and hang out here when we used to party before it was the rescue. I had my 2 college kids here, and we had big parties here every week. You know, pool parties. They had DJs out there, all kinds of stuff. It was crazy, but I guess she used to hang around back then, and they need a place. So I told them they can stay here for a week or 2. Jim Sheezy says, I still watch from work as much as possible. It's a hell of a job you got there where you can watch OFR.
Suzanne's cussing your dishwasher. It takes 3 hours to run. It does.
You don't know about all that. I've always thought, because I set it up and then I go to bed and then I wake up in the morning, it's done. So I don't know how long it takes,
About 2.5.
Okay, Skylar says, trust me, Freddie Rich. What kind of freshwater fish for my video and tank? What kind of species of freshwater fish? Your son trying to get me a catfish, a shark. I can come on my birthday, please? All I got out of that is you want to come over for your birthday. Come on over. Come on over. We'll talk about anything after that. You see all the fish that we have up for adoption.
Maybe we make sense out of what you're saying.
Yeah. Hey guys, an evening all, everybody saying. And then Andrew Holland says, you're a good guy, Rich. Melissa says, still confusing, Skylar. Does he know you? Not that I know of. I mean, it's kind of hard to understand her writing. Maybe maybe English isn't her first, language.
Yeah, it's like 3 different conversations at the same time.
Yeah.
She's not making any sense.
But you know what? We'll work with you, Skylar. You come on by for your birthday and, we'll find you something. For sure. Brittany Ziblis is here. Love Brittany. She put up the Ohio Fish Rescue merch thing.
Thank you, Brittany.
Yes, thank you.
That's what their mods are for, man.
Yeah, but Brittany, she had her birthday, and she got $100 for her birthday, and she donated to us, and she asked us.
Supposed to be cooking, I know.
Right. And every time I go to start, you end up making a whole meal or something, and we just don't do it. We got to get in there and do that for her.
Yeah. We got to get somebody else to video it while we're doing it.
Yeah. So they can catch all the arguing and all the.
Hey, we've got the menu ready. We're going to make millionaire bacon and French toast. So the menu's set. We just got to get the video done.
Tyler, I think he's referring to the Skylar. Says it'll be one of your best days you'll ever have. Yep. Andrew Holland says, Rich, what's your favorite fish and why? It is the mighty arapaima. And because they are so huge and so big and so massive and just command respect, I love that. It's like my dog was, the Great Dane or an Irish Wolfhound. I've raised them both. I like my animals big. Skyler says, Rudy, Rich is okay. I can please tell me what kind of freshwater fish you will put I can put my video on tank for my freshwater. What kind of freshwater eels do you have for my video? We don't actually have any eels to give out right now. I mean, we do run across them. But if you're looking for just any kind of eel, I would say any kind of fire eel are amazing. Love them. User LS8NQ1YI1I says, "How you doing, Rich? How's things? Things are doing good. We're getting by. We're doing things."
You read YouTube, right?
Loren says, "I love Big Rich cooking vids, but none of the ingredients are in the stores in Netherlands." Aw, well that sucks. You need a care package then. How to make different things. What was your favorite thing you watched me cook? Skyler says, 0. My mom's got money. You can call my mom. You want to trust me? I'm trying to call you on my birthday. Call us, come by, whatever. It's okay.
Summer Lay's trying to get a hold of you on your Facebook messages.
Facebook messages?
Yeah, she's asking me to check them. She probably got some information on the side.
Facebook. All right, messages. I got to look through all these messages to see Summerlee. What's your name on Facebook? It's not Summerlee.
Brittany says, don't worry about the vid. That's just another reason to worry about it.
Yeah. Now we got to do it, Jerry.
Yeah.
We
What are you
can't
talking
let
about?
Brittany down.
No,
We can't
man,
let her
there's
down. We
reasons.
love her. She wants to see us fighting in the kitchen is what she wants to see.
Yeah, I see it. I hear it.
Okay, I've got so many messages on here. I need to know your name on here. I can't. I have no idea. I'm sorry, I can't check my messages. There's too many, and I don't know your name on Facebook. So Summerly, please tell us what your name is. Campbell Dan says, Rich, your shirt makes me think of sloth. Hey, you guys! Remember that? The
Yeah.
Goonies? Yeah. I think he's telling me I look like sloth now. Andrew Holland says, what are you
Consider
drinking,
that a
Rich?
compliment.
It's not a compliment. He's got like one eye up here, one eye down here. it's but we wore the same shirt, yes. Tyler says, Tracy, everybody drink up.
Tracy, don't make me get out my vape.
Summerlee says, we often talk. Well, see, now here's the thing. I may be talking to you on Facebook, and to me, you're a completely different person than Summerlee on here. You know, I don't know because you have a different, maybe your name's Bob Parker or Sue, you know, whatever. I don't know. How am I supposed to know from your name on here to a different name on there? You know? Brittany Ziblets, Big Rich's favorite drink. That's somebody asked up there what I'm drinking. That was Andrew Holland. And Brittany answered it for him, says, Burnett's vodka, vanilla, whipped cream flavor, 2 to 3 fingers into that cup. Yes, 3 fingers. And then a grape crush with water. But I do not drink the vanilla flavored no more. And they don't sell Burnett's no more. So this is Pinnacle regular vodka, no whipped cream. Because the whipped cream has like, I think it was 100 calories per shot. So just these 3 drinks, I'd be drinking 900 calories because I'm putting 3 shots in each cup. So I went off of that to help me lose weight to regular vodka that has much less. So don't taste the vanilla in there no more. But XAA10X says your vids have been popping up on my algorithm for a few months until yesterday. Now I'm binge watching to catch up. You can always go right to YouTube, Ohio Fish Rescue, and see what, you know. Okay, she says, Skylar Lee says, what kind of freshwater catfish shark will you get me? A freshwater pet is friendly for my video on tank. What you wish, what kind of family freshwater fish from unturned 21 next to my birthday? Wow, I'm sorry, Skylar, but your texting is really confusing. But I got out of that, what kind of freshwater catfish shark? So she wants a catfish or a shark from freshwater. There's a million different ones we get in. I can't tell you because we're not a pet store and we don't always have, 80 of these fish and 30 of those fish, you know. It just happens to be what we have in that week. It may be something nobody's seen before. It may be something that, is, like a suncat, that they don't get too big and you can keep them in a smaller tank, But I don't know. It depends on what's available that week. Oh, look, this thing all screwed up on us. Yeah, look at that. All right, there we go. 175 and 9. Chat rate is 9. Views 353. Current viewers 175. Okay. Camel Dan says, no, you don't look like sloth, but maybe the physique.
That's cute.
Oh, Summer Lee says it's Shanna Gregory. I know Shanna Gregory. What the hell, woman? Yeah, once YouTube changed things, now I got to associate all these names with all these other people, you know, and there's like 175 people on here right now. So it ain't just you, it's everybody. You know, like Raheem isn't Raheem no more. It's some weird name that I don't know.
Some
It's crazy.
YouTube code.
Yeah. All right, so let me look on here for Shauna Gregory messages. Now, see, now it's easy to find. Yeah, I got that. That's okay. Thank you for trying to help. See, now if it was Shauna Gregory here and Shauna Gregory up here, I would never have, you know, had a problem. But now it's Summer Lee, 1981. Hell, I graduated in 1981. Who is you? Camel Dan says, Rich, don't you think it's kind of weird that so many people know so much about you? Not at all. I've lived my life in the, you know, that's what, when you try and be a good person, you don't do nothing wrong. And you know, you make your decisions based on what benefits everybody, not yourself. You're not being selfish. So I try and do everything right, everything good, everything helpful. You know, I was able to get out of the streets on my own. You know, at 15, I lived on the streets in Florida, under the bridge, on top of buildings. You know, I mean, I made it out of I didn't have no help from none of my family. My family threw me out when I was 15, and I made it up to where I am now. I had kids. I raised them really well. My kids are doing well. And, you know, so now in the next chapter, I'm doing this with Josh, building this rescue, and I want to help out people and keep helping. So you try and be a good person, and you try and base all your judgments on that. I could sit here and I could just be like, you know, this is my house. This is my tanks. And you know what? None of you are going to see it. I'm going to go out and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to go ride my Harley. I'm going to drive my Camaro. I'm going to go out on the boat. I'm going to do all this. I'm going to buy me a snowmobile, you know, whatever. It's not for me anymore. No, you know, I'm here taking care of Tracy, trying to bring her back. I'm still here for my kids. I'm still trying to help everybody else out. And you know what? It's you that has to face God and then pearly gates and say, if I wasn't good enough to get into heaven, at least I tried. You know? The problem is selfishness. Everybody says the money's root of all evil. It's not. It's selfishness. You know? Why do you think all the crackheads and meth heads out there are out stealing things and trying, because they want to get more of what they are doing? You know, anybody that steals off anybody else, they don't care about anybody else. They are selfish. They're trying to get what they can get, you know, and build up or sell or whatever they can steal, you know. It's just, it's not a good world being selfish. And, you know, that's why I couldn't fix Skylar, because she's very selfish. I tried. I mean, I made her in some ways. I mean, her mother called me and said, thank you. You brought my daughter back to me. She's you know, such a changed person because of you and this and that. So I did reach her somewhat, but you know, we butted heads too much. She wanted to, I don't know. But yeah, I hope that answers your question. Harley Jem says, depends. You like Rocky Road ice cream? I love any kind of ice cream. I'm a fat man. Come on now. I like ice cream when it's cold. I like it when it's melted. I like it when it's poured over things. I like it when it's sitting on a plate and it's just a soup. I'll drink it. I love ice cream. Vasquez family says, good-hearted man. Remind me of my father. Aw, that's a compliment and a half right there. Thank you. See, Gracie and her gaggle says, the way to heaven is having a good relationship with Jesus. I've had this argument with Jehovah's Witnesses before. You know, oh, if I don't, you know, do this or do that, I'm going straight to hell. I will never get into heaven, this and that, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, you know what? You can believe what you want. I believe if I try and be a good person and be a good person and, you know, be good in life, that whoever, whatever is up there, whatever is looking out for us, whatever has got us a purpose here on life, is not going to say, you were a good person all your life. But you know what? You didn't go every Sunday to church. You didn't worship me. That seems like a very selfish God. Okay. So I don't listen to all these other people and how their gods are like, you got to serve Jesus. You have to do this. You have to do that. You have to go here. You know, no. If you try and be your own best person, how can a good, secure God say, oh, well, you didn't, you know, serve me. You didn't worship me as an idol. I'm going to send you to hell. Then that's not a just God. You know what I'm saying? So I try and be the best person I can be in every situation that I'm in. You know how many times I've turned down things that would have benefited me because it's the greater good? I try, you know, and I try and be a good person. But yeah, this is a good time to break away. It is the Tracy update. It's actually 2 minutes late. So mark on there 6:32 is the Tracy update. 419 Royals is trying to get me to, you know, like they're my daddy. They're going to say my name, Rich. All right. So, anyways, let's go on to the Tracy update. This week here, now you guys got to understand, Tracy's been home now 5.5 years since this has happened. Actually, almost 6. It happened in February 5th of 2020, and now it's 2025. Almost, it's 3 months away from being February of the next year. So that will be in 3 months. It'll be 6 years. The first year she was in a coma. She came out of the coma and had a daytime awake and nighttime sleepy schedule. And she progressed from there and on and on. She was on 8 machines, and now she's down to just her breathing machine. They wouldn't let her off of that machine until I got her released to me, because at the nursing homes, she ended up septic twice and all kinds of bed sores. I went in there and I did my hours. I did my training, and I got her released to me at home. And in the next 4.5 years, she's not had one bed sore, not one bed sore. She's never went septic. She's never had to go to the hospital. Okay. So that's us taking care of her. And, you know, her being here like this, well, you know, it's been almost 5 years for me taking care of her. And the first 7 months was me taking care of her 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I mean, I sat in a chair next to her bed, and that's where I slept. You know, if the alarms would go off, I'd wake up. You know, if she coughed, I'd wake up. And I just put my head back on her bed and then fall back asleep after I was done taking care of her. And that war, that took me, I mean, that I was so like horrid looking, and I'd gained weight because I'm never leaving the house. I'm always here. And to stay up, I'd try and eat something, you know, and I'd make something to eat because I'm staying up all night and I'm trying all this and that. And it made me physically just, it was terrible. I went from like 260 to 340, you know, and now I'm on a big journey of losing all this. I lost the 61 pounds and I'm at a plateau right now, but I don't have anything else coming up except for Christmas dinner. And if I just eat meat on Christmas dinner, I screwed up on Thanksgiving. I saw the stuffing, the ham, the turkey, which is ham and turkey's fine, but the mashed potatoes with the corn, with the gravy, the stuffing with the gravy. Oh my God. And then there was pecan pie. I can't turn down a pecan pie. There was, you know, all kinds of different pies and stuff. So,
But you did share it with Tracy.
yes, I did. I kept giving her, I gave her a taste of everything. I'm on my finger, I put my finger in her mouth, and she was just like, oh, she was loving life, you know? She was tearing it up. Like, I can't believe there's any skin left on my finger because of the gravy that was on my finger.
Thanks, Brittany.
What's that?
She stuck on a link to the Tracy history
Oh, gotcha.
video.
So, here's the thing though, and that was all a build up to this. I think it was Tuesday and Wednesday. I have to watch her 16 hours in a row, and I get a 4-hour sleep in between. It was Wednesday day, and here's the problem. I had a community service girl that was going to come over and watch Tracy for 4 hours. She's an STNA. She was going to watch Tracy for 4 hours, and I could get a nap. Okay, that's great. Well, I drank a little bit so that I can, sleep, because I just don't fall asleep like that. So here she stayed until 2:30 in the morning, and then she left and did not wake me up. But the whole other calamity of bullshit that happened at the same time was my cord going to my phone wasn't charging my phone. The cord went dead. So now I wake up and it's 10 o'clock. And I'm like, oh my God, I missed Tracy's 9 o'clock change. I have to change her at 9 o'clock. And then every 2 hours, I reposition her. I woke up, it was 10 o'clock. And I'm like, oh, I missed it. I missed her for an hour, blah, blah, blah. Wait, isn't that girl supposed to be watching her? And then I look at my cameras and it's bright sunlight outside. It's 10 o'clock a.m. I fucked up. I did not wake up. My alarms did not go off. My phone did not go off. I rely on this technology to keep me up every, 2 hours. I have to reposition her. So poor Tracy for 9 hours straight did not get changed, did not get repositioned. And, I woke up and I go running out there, and, the day nurse is there, and she's like, I am so pissed at you. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, how was she? She said she was wet up to her back. She's, in that same position, blah, 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 this and that. I mean, I felt horrible. I felt horrible. The one time in 5 years, something happened and I faltered, and poor little Tracy had to pay. No one wants to lay in your own piss. No one wants that. And then it's going to sting after a while. And, laying in the same position for 9 hours, I didn't reposition her. I felt fucking horrible. I didn't even care about apologizing to the nurse. I was apologizing to Tracy. I was hugging her. I was holding her. I'm telling her I'm so sorry. I'm fucking dropping tears, and
He walks around here all day beating himself up about it too.
So, yeah, I fucked up. But I found out what the problem was. The cord to the phone was dead. So my alarms didn't wake me up because the phone went dead. And then because I drank a little bit, I stayed sleeping all night. Usually I only sleep for 2, 3, 4 hours at a time, So that is the new Tracy update. And I hate to say it, but, it was all on me. It was my fault. I promised her I would never falter again. I would never let her lay like that again, I don't know. Melissa says, yeah, she should have told you when she's leaving. Yeah, wake me up. And then, she didn't change her. So wake me up, and I could have changed her. I could have got her right back. And it would have only been like 4 hours she was laying there without anybody taking care of her, I don't know. Tyler Curtis says, I'm not religious, but I think someone or something is watching over you and her, and that's why you ended up having her there with you. We all know you didn't mean it. You're an amazing man. Never forget that. Well, thank you, but I don't feel so amazing right now. Tyler says, you're a better option than the fucking hospitals. Well, that's for sure. I'm sorry, but it's the truth. I'm sorry for the foul language, everyone. No, it's okay. We are definitely a better option than the hospitals. I mean, she was in the hospital for the first 7 months, and she ended up in what do you call that when you're going to die? Septic. She ended up septic twice and had to go from the nursing home ICU hospital back to the hospital, and then they saved her there, and got her healed back up. And then she go back to the nursing home. Then she come back septic again, and bed sores. So yeah, us taking care of her only because we care is way better than a nursing home. You guys can't trust your loved ones at a nursing home. You can't. You really can't.
Tracy, everybody.
Tracy.
Or as Bob said, to all the missing women.
There's missing women?
Yeah, remember, well, when we first started this, we said, well, it's Tracy, but then somebody suggested Bambi.
Yeah,
and I said, well, we'll just do it to all the missing women.
Okay, gotcha.
Well, Bob caught me on that later on.
Yeah. Gracie in the gaggle says, Rich, it's okay. Accidents happen. You must have been really tired, stressed, and no sleep does that. Well, I had worked the previous week 120 hours, and the week before that 111 hours because nurses calling off for Thanksgiving and stuff, and it did build up on. I'm not using that as an excuse. It did build up on me, and I was dragging ass. If I'd have known that community service girl would have left and not woke me up, I wouldn't have drank. I drank a little bit, and we had a good time, and then I went to bed. And with a couple drinks in me, I can go right to sleep. But I expected my phone to wake me up, and I didn't know that when I plugged it in, the phone cord was dead. It wasn't charging. So I never got woke up, and I don't want to use it as excuses, but that hurt me. I've raised my kids. I've never had a babysitter for them. I was always there. They were with me 24/7. I homeschooled them for a long time, and then they went to school. Then I worked my ass off to get them through what's that, Catholic school or whatever St. Ignatius was, because I wouldn't send them to public school. And I worked my ass off, and that's the only time I had to break away from them. And that's how I take care of my loved ones. I'm there for you. And that night left me, I was not there for anybody. It made me feel like a piece of shit. Yeah. Oh, shit.
Boy, I'm behind on a few Tracys here.
Tracy, everybody. Andy Davis says our NHS is going on strike in the UK next Wednesday. What's NHS? Santi says you did your best. It's all good that matters. You can't be perfect. You are a good dude. Don't worry.
It's the UK.
Thank you.
Everything's nationalized.
Sugar Bear says, I'm going to have to send you an old-fashioned alarm clock for those in case moments. You know what? That would have worked, because we rely on technology so much.
God, you know how long it's been? The old wind-up round alarm clock with the little bells on it.
Yeah.
Right on.
And put it just far enough away that you have to get up out of bed to shut that damn thing off.
Yeah.
You wake up that way. Tyler,
and just for a conversation piece, you wire 3 red sticks behind it. With a little wire coming up. So it looks like a bomb.
Oh.
That'll get you.
Tyler Kerr says, Rich, you're making me want to cry. Hugs for my family, to you and Josh. Oh, thank you. Oh. Fancy says NHS is National Health Service.
Yeah.
Basically free health care. How the fuck can free health care go on strike? That blows my mind. That's like the cops going on strike. We're not going to serve and protect no more.
Yeah.
I
knew the first word was national because in the UK everything's nationalized.
Yeah.
I mean.
Brittany Ziblis. Tracy. Drink up, guys.
Thank you, Brittany. You go, no matter what Sue says.
Rude Hobby says, I try and ask every week what the next big projects are that need to be done. So what's coming up for this week? And I hope you have a
videos.
wonderful Christmas and New Year. We try and keep everybody informed on that. You know, we've got the 3,000 tank. All Josh has to do is go down and pick up this glass, but we need people to help him carry it. And you know, him maybe out of his boots, possibly. So that's waiting. The 4,000 gallon tank. And then once that's done, we can paint that one barn, get the 400 gallon tank up and running for the red Midases. Then we also got the 550. All we got to do is put a couple of bulkheads in there, and it's up and running. And then also the Dwight Howard tank.
He makes it all sound so simple.
It is.
Well, you just
I told Josh, once we get this glass, we're gonna have like 5 tanks in 1 week up and running.
Yeah.
You know, that been waiting for a while.
God, we're gonna put them whole saws to work, boy.
Yeah. The Dwight Howard tank, Preston was supposed to come over and set up a living dirt inside there with living grass and all that stuff, and get that set up for the green emerald tree boa, and you know, that kind of stuff. And then Josh is working on the dog bone now. He cut out all the silicone. So, I mean, like within a week, we're going to have like 5 different tanks up and running.
Watch Josh's last video, man. It's like, bang, 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 bang. I'm going, God, I didn't know we had so many projects.
they're sitting out there. I
got to watch the videos to see what's going on around here myself. So, you know.
As Auntie said, exactly. It's bad, NHS strike, but please are not happy, which is fair enough. See, I don't understand that. Okay, this is where United States falls, or America falls bad. We don't have free health care here. And I believe in that, because here they monetize the health care. So if you're a specialist doctor, you're making so much more than this doctor. And this doctor's making great money. But then you've got all these RNs and all this, and LPNs and all this, and people taking in, and they're all making money from you being sick or broken, you know. And now I think that the free health care fixes that, because, you know, these doctors and everybody's all getting pretty much like a type of, you know, pay, or however they're getting paid. And, you know, you're not like picking out this patient or that patient because you're going to make more money, you know. I like that better. And that's where, you know, the United States falls behind on that.
Well, that's where it's supposed to work. But unfortunately, the privatized health care, at least from what I understand about the Canadian system, the national health care and the private health care are like Skid Row and Ultimate
The elitist, yeah.
Yeah. So nobody in Canada, from what I understand from a Canadian friend of mine, nobody in Canada uses national health care unless they have to.
Really?
It's emergency only.
Melissa F says, I got to go. Hope everyone has a good weekend. Bye, Melissa.
Bye, Melissa.
Oh, Jesus.
Holy moly. We got 20 gift memberships. Brittany,
Go ahead.
20 Ohio gift memberships.
There we go. I was going holy moly at the same time you went holy moly. By the memberships, I was going because it jumped on me and I went way ahead.
Yeah. Well, all of a sudden you're rattling off memberships and I'm going, oh, I saw that. Thank you, Brittany. I'm not on that list anymore. I'm still not a member.
See, now I got Summerlee as Shanna. So now I know who that is. You know,
Yeah.
It strikes up in here. I know who's talking. Brittany Ziblis said 20 Ohio Fish Rescue gift memberships. Wow. Yeah. Silver Fox got one. Cameron Foster, DT 125. Good Jane.
There's actually 20 people on the list.
Right. Jeff and Beth, Aggressive Fish Lovers, Mud Warriors, JP Jeffries, Granny.
Camel down. Jeez.
Ignorance kills this country. Oh, ain't that the truth? I love that name.
Ignorance is no excuse.
Prince Vino got a gift membership. Eric Anderson. Wolfie Legna. Okay. Of the Dawn. Trouble Star. The big Junior Chambliss got one. Dan Bid got one. Oh, Matt LeMay's here. What's up, buddy? Says Sunday I go to Orlando for my 5-day EEG and try to map my seizures and figure out my epilepsy. The next testing is brain mapping sessions.
Wow.
Hoping to get a new treatment plan and medications. Oh, that'd be nice.
Good for you.
Brad Isaac's got another membership. Heroin Manson got a membership. Silver Fox.
Oh, she's saying thank you.
I'm saying thank you, yeah.
A depth chart's cracking up over something.
Tyler Kerr says, was it me or do most of those names sound like Dungeons and Dragon names?
Oh, the one when I put my name up on that list, there was only about 5 names on the list. That was years ago. But I haven't put my name on the list for a long time.
Wow. Auntie says, if you're in the UK, NHS would provide for Tracy and come do nurse care for free depending on circumstances.
Yeah,
that would be nice.
Yeah.
You know, if you get me down, you know, I'm retired and I have the availability because I own properties and I get rent coming in. I have the availability to take care of Tracy and do this. You know, I don't have a job I have to go to. I don't have a school I have to go to. I don't really particularly have to be anywhere at any time. So I'm able to take care of Tracy like this. And, you know, it's still rough because when you make me work, you know, 120 hours a week because the nurses are calling off, you know, that's a lot of time that and it's not daytime. It's not nighttime. It's like, you know, this nurse called off daytime. This nurse called off nighttime. This nurse called off evening. And, you know, I'm doing all 3 different shifts. And you know how screwed up that makes your sleep schedule? It screws us up.
Got a mod squad.
Okay, and you know, now we're done with the Tracy update. She's doing really well. She's in there. I'm watching her right here on my phone. She's in there. She's doing good. She's, you know, by no means. Okay. What she had to put up with is I would never have none of my children, wives, girlfriends, mothers, uncles, aunts, whatever, go through. I fell out. I fucked up. That was on me. She'll never have to go through that again. But she is not having to go back to the hospital, you know, so she's still in good hands. Lawrence Cortas says, I am missing Skylar. I tell you what, if I read you this message she sent me,
never mind.
You would not miss her.
I'm gonna go get that great big donation jar and we'll put it right in the middle.
You're still stopping me from talking. She is a very mean person, and she wants to control everything. And I mean, that's why she didn't get along with Jerry. She comes in and she takes over and she takes charge and she wants it. And she's not. Okay, look at it. Just a simple thing like this. A very simple thing. I've built hot rods all my life. I've got umpteen pictures of cars I've built, cars I've sold. I buy and sell. I build things up. I fix cars and I sell them. And then I built this Camaro out here. And, you know, when her car broke down, I was like, don't worry about it. I'll take care of it. She's like, no, I'll call my brother. He knows what he's doing. I'm the guy that's giving you free rent here to help me out, and you're not really helping me out. You're being lazy as shit. And then you want to treat me like that and make me feel like I'm nothing? Your 19-year-old brother knows more on cars than me? You know, that shit pissed me off. And that's the way she treats everybody. So, you know, you want to say you miss her, but if you got to know her, You wouldn't miss her. You know, just let's move on. Summerlee says, or Shannon says, can we see more of Herbie, please? Of course. And then she also says, I thought you blocked Skylar. I did, on every outlet. She got a hold of me yesterday on a number that somebody says you can get a text number. And she's like, Rich, unblock me right now. Blah, 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 this and that. And then she proceeded to yelling at me. I'm like, this is why I blocked you. You are mean. Who are you to yell at me and I'm supposed to listen to you? No. I put her in her place. I'm like, you can't yell at me and tell me what to do. You know, I blocked you. That means I don't want to deal with you. Stop yelling at me. You know, if you want to grow up and be nice, you're more than welcome to come around. But you keep acting like this, I don't want you around. Who would want that? You're mean. You're a very mean person. And then I went on to tell her that, you know, I have friends from 40 years ago that are still around and treat me nicer than she ever did. And, you know, she has friends she keeps at an arm's length. You know, because here's her thing. She gets upset about something. She disappears in her bedroom for 4 days. And then she'll come back out and she'll tell everybody around how much she's been working around, you know, doing this or that. And, you know, she gets mad all the fucking time. She's pissed off all the time. Except for when new people are around. Like, you don't know her and you go and visit her in the hospital. She's the sweetest thing. But once you get to know her after, like, let's say 6 months to a year, yeah, she's going to treat you the way she treated me. And I can't put up with it, you know. I told her the only way I'm not going to be treated like shit by you is to block you and get you out of my life. If you want my life, grow up, be nice, and treat me nice, you know. But Ronaldo says, hey, Rich, can the new pretty girl from the videos be on the live stream? You know, I asked her and she said yes, she would. But, you know, she's a 21-year-old girl and she's always busy, basically. And you know why? Because when you're 21, you're running around. I got to go here. I got to go there. I got to go do this. I got to do that. You know, being on the live stream isn't important to you. You know, so.
It ties up a big chunk of Friday night.
Right, right. But her name is Joyce, and she is a very nice sweetheart. Like her. I've talked to her umpteen hours about her boyfriend and, you know, choices she makes and this and that. And, you know, she's appreciated that. And, you know, she's a good girl. Loren says, I love women who command me to go to bed, but that will be the only command she can give me.
Isn't he the one who just said he misses Skylar?
Uh-huh.
Ah. You deserve her. Not nobody.
Nobody deserves that. I mean, we know her ex-boyfriend.
Yeah.
And, like that poor man.
He's got to be a masochist.
Matt LeMay says, on a happier note, saw Josh go and rescue those beautiful stingrays. Now breeding stock, he did an amazing job. Just like riding a bike, he got right back on it. Go, Josh. Ronaldo says, Joyce has a nice personality and easy on the eyes. Yep, I agree with that. Vasquez family says, any word on the decoration going in the big tank? We have our floating lumber that has been in the pool pond since the 3,000 got taken down.
Oh, yeah.
The 4,000 is ready to go up now. We can bring that log back in. It's almost sinking.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's the big pieces of driftwood are go back in there.
They're talking about that background we were supposed to get for.
Oh, yeah. No, that's not falling through. That guy don't even answer our calls no more. we advertised him. We told him, you know, this and that, and he made the measurements, and then he said he was working on it at home, and then he started not, you know, answering Josh's calls, and now we're like, okay, it's over with. There, he's not bringing it, so we're gonna go ahead and get the tank up and running. We've been waiting for that because he needed it dry to install them. You know. Harley Jem says Joyce seems to be a nice, positive young woman. She is so much more mature than Skylar. It's ridiculous. And she is a sweetheart. She is very nice. She don't want to hurt no one's feelings. You know, so she's a very nice girl. Hope she hangs out here more often. Me too. Zanti says, I don't know if you can say it or not, but what are the community service people in for? Like, what do they do?
It's none of their business.
No, I ain't gonna be like that. It's a lot of misdemeanors. There's really no felonies here. It's all misdemeanors. The people, you know, like if you get a felony, you don't really get community service. You get a felony, you're gonna have to do jail time or be at home on the ankle monitor, you know, that type thing. Community service is for people that get like tickets that can't afford to pay them. You know, I don't know, stupid stuff like that. Or got a DWI and they give you community service because it's your first one. You know, you got to do 300 hours or 100 hours or whatever. I've had other people in here for petty theft, for running stop signs, a plethora of different things, you know. Nothing really bad. All right, let me see what else is here. Nate says, you guys thinking about giving the abomination catfish a tank upgrade? Yeah, pretty soon. We're going to move all of the albino gars into the 300 because they're in a 135 now. Them and the abomination catfish, I love the way you named them like that, are going into the 300 gallon where the paddlefish are. We have to find a place to put the paddlefish and sturgeon because they're just getting way too big for that. So everybody's getting an upgrade down the line type thing. Sue Ann says gifted memberships last for 30 days. After that, they need to renew it. And I think they're 50 cents a month. Yeah. Double A 10X says, I have 6 cichlids in a 55 gallon that started breeding, then one died. Any advice on how to keep them alive? Well, yeah, that's real easy. Keep your water parameters. You want your ammonia and your nitrites at 0. And you want your nitrates, I keep mine, you know, under 30 or so. But, you know, you can go up as high as 60 and still not hurt fish. I mean, it might hurt discus, you know, because they're kind of, you know, flighty. But, you know, I try and keep mine around 20. And with the amount of water, see, we had a big deal about this. Everybody was talking about it. Oh, I bet if Big Rich took a test of his water, he'd see that his nitrates are up there. No, they're not. We've got about 2,000 gallons of water coming in every single day, and it overflows out every single day. So no matter how hard we feed these fish, no matter how much we do, our ammonia and nitrites at 0, and our nitrates are anywhere from 10 to 30, depending on how crowded that tank is, because people are like, oh, well, your tank's too crowded. But see, they don't understand. We have pass-through water on every single tank. So I could crowd the shit out of that tank if I needed to, because water's passing through. So also, no nitrates are building up.
It also has its own independent filtration.
Every tank has its own filtration plus a pass-through. So, you know,
the capacity.
We get away with this where other people can't. Like some tanks look overstocked. We can get away with that, but we are a rescue.
Yeah.
We can't have every tank being choice, beautiful tank, because there's constantly fish coming in, constantly fish going out, and then sometimes we get, we got to hold on to these fish for a long time before we find them a home.
Yeah,
like more of the
we
bigger
gotta house
fish.
them with our own fish.
Right.
He doesn't say what kind of cichlids though. I mean, if they're African cichlids, put some more cover in and move it around a little bit, break up the cover.
Yeah.
If they're Central and South American cichlids, you're going to end up with a pair and that's it, unless you got a lot of hiding places.
I would say, and here's my, from all the years I've been doing this, put more cichlids in there. Look at that tank right behind us right now. That is all different kinds of cichlids from Lake Tanganyika, Lake Malai, everywhere. There's all kinds in there, and they have babies constantly. Okay. The problem with having 6 fish in a 55 gallon, you're now trying to get 2 fish that are pairing off, and they want to, have their territory. They're, this is my spot. This is where our eggs are. You people don't, or you fish don't come around, and then they go after other fish. If you get too many fish, in cichlids especially, then you can't fight that off. They can't be like that. They don't act like that because there's too many fish. Now they'll just go and have their babies in the back corner and then hide out there. They don't try and kill the other fish because you're in my area. I forget what that's called, but there is a term for that.
I don't remember.
But look at our cichlid tank back there, and it is overcrowded. And yet they have millions upon millions of babies, nonstop.
In that tank right now, there's a pair of starry night cichlids that are paired off down in the corner. And those things are notorious for holding on to big territories.
Yeah, and they can't
do it
because there's so many.
Having their babies. I'm going, yes. Be nice to have those starry nights in there, but
JC says, Big Rich, it's a shame some of your goodness didn't rub off on Skylar. Well, a lot did. Really. She did. She came here, was lazy, attitudey, spoiled little brat. And, I only showed the good parts of her, so everybody kind of fell in love with her. But she did grow a lot. She matured a lot. I mean, her mother called me and says, oh, thank you. I've got my little girl back again, this and that. And, now she's living back with her mom. So it's a lot did rub off on her, but she could have done a lot more growing up. I mean, she is 26 now. She could have done a lot more growing up and been more of an adult, but she's very, very lazy.
very selfish.
Very selfish, yes. And she has to be the center of attention everywhere she is. It doesn't matter, so. I mean, I'm not saying she's a horrible, horrible person. I'm just saying I can't let her keep yelling at me and treating me like shit when I've done nothing but help you. At some point, someone's going to have to stop that. She's not. I begged her for 2 years to treat me better or you can't be here, and, so.
I like Bob Taylor's suggestion there. I got a nice bundle of white sage down there. I've got my smudge feather. I can cleanse this place, Jack.
He says the ghost of Skylar burn some sage and clear OFR.
I'd be glad to.
That's funny.
I'll even burn some sweetgrass afterwards to call the decent spirits back in.
Loren says, be nice to Skylar. She has a heart. That's what I kept on thinking this whole time. But her own brother can't stand her. It's because of the way she is. She wants everybody around to do for her. You should lend me your car. You should do this for me. You should do that. And her own brother can't stand her. And, I told her, that says a lot right there. So,
AA10X answered our question about the male peacock cichlid keeps chasing the female. So he's got peacocks in a tank.
Okay. Even so, fill it with more. Put another, you've got 6 in a 55. I'd say put another 10 or 15 in there.
I'd put a colony of Ladrochromis and another colony of Pseudotropheus in there and everything all balance out.
Ronaldo said, so you have 2,000 gallons of water running out of your system daily? Yes, we
Yep.
do.
Just about.
Absolutely. When the pond gets low, we drain it into the pond. When, you know, the pond's full, we drain it out to the river.
Yeah.
I don't want to call it a river, the creek.
Well, right now, until those tanks are plumbed in and attached, we're doing it manually. So yes, I'm very aware of exactly how much comes out.
Ronaldo says, is Brock still welcome at Oakland? Yeah, he was just here the other day. He comes out. Yeah, he's a nice kid. He's a good kid. You know, he helps out, and he just don't like his sister. Vasquez family says, Tracy. There you go.
Thank you very much.
And I'm not saying she's not welcome here. I'm saying I had to block her because of her ignorance on the phone and yelling at me and you know, telling me this and telling me that and, you know, blah, blah, blah. You know, who are you? You're not my woman. You're not my wife. You're not my mother. Just stop talking to me this way, you know? And I got mad at her and I blocked her. And then she contacted me through the other, you know, like there's Messenger and there's Messages. Messages are on your phone and Message. So I blocked her on Messenger. And then she gets hold of me through Messages and yells at me and screams and yells. So I block her on there. Then I went in and I removed her from the mod squad, and I removed her from being in the Ohio Fish Rescue chat that we have for only our mods on Facebook. And then I removed her from YouTube. And then I removed her from, you know, Instagram and all this other stuff. And then she comes up with a phone number that is like one of those text numbers, you know, to yell at me some more. And I'm like, look, I blocked you on 7 different formats. Why are you still contacting me? Why are you still yelling at me? I told you to treat me nicer, and I'll be fine with it. She just, I don't know. So just forget about it. Lorenz says, Jerry, hang some garlic above the entrances. Then Skylar can't come in. Come on, now he's saying she's like a vampire, you know.
Wouldn't stop it.
You can't see the funniness in that.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's all it meant. Pete Walters on Team Skylar. Well, but you don't know her.
Sorry. Jump back with her.
Yeah, jumped up or something. You know, let's put it this way. Reaper was here today. Mark was here today. Luke was here today. You know, Jerry was here today. My nurse Latrice was here today, and you know, everything was great. And if she would treat people nice, she can be here too. But you know, she wants to go to pet stores and say I'm affiliated with Ohio Fish Rescue and let me buy my shrimp from you cheap. I had to tell her, you cannot use my good name anymore. I'm telling every pet store around here, you're not part of us, you know, because that's what she was doing, going behind my back. And I don't know. Harley Jem says, Skylar is entitled. She'll grow out of that. I sure hope so, because she could actually be a sweetheart if she just treated people nicer. You know, here's the thing. I know people for a long time, and I give loyalty where loyalty comes from. You're good to me, I'm good to you. But she goes by the whole thing of, I just met you, I'm going to treat you better than anyone's ever treated you. You know? And then 6 months later, 4 months later, you find out, wow, this girl is a fucking bitch. You know? So I don't know why you want to treat strangers like that. I treat people according. You know what I'm saying? That's all. Sue Ann said, he said it wouldn't stop her. Just laughing her ass off. Jerry. John Silver says, have you still got the cat, Rich? No, I gave it to Skylar because I bought it for Tracy and it didn't help. And then Skylar was here for that 2 years and she basically took care of that cat. She is that cat's mother. You know what I'm saying? And I don't feel like taking care of it. I don't want to feed it daily. I don't want to change its, kitty litter and all that. So when she moved out, I let her take the cat. It was worth it to me to buy it to try and, help Tracy. Drift Wooden says, remember the video we made me cry a river, bitch? Oh, the video he made. It was Rick and Marissa sitting around the table and like a few other people. I think Sue Ann and Deb Charge were here. And I said something. Oh, Skylar texted and she was mean as shit. And blah, blah, blah. And I said something to her. And in the background, Maritza runs up and, cry me a river, bitch. It was on the video. I said, Skylar. It was hilarious. You had to be there. Rich, can you play that video, please? Let me look.
Oh, can't play it on YouTube.
Well, I might have it. I don't know. Gallery, camera.
No, I'm not dressing up like Santa. It would take too much padding.
No, if I still got it, I don't know where it's at, Rick. I'm sorry. It's not in my camera. Suhan says, please show it. Manny Davies says, every time I watch your videos, these fish tanks are spotless, Rich. They are amazing fish you got. Well, you know what? Ask anybody that has a fish tank, they're always dirty. We got Jerry, we got Josh, we got me, and then we got community service that help us. We keep these tanks clean and fish fed, Loren says, is Jerry going to dress up like Santa for grandkids, Big Rich? He is a beard for it. I thought about doing this. I have the body for it. So I can put on the fake beard and then go to my son's house, and be loud and have Laura see Santa Claus putting presents under the tree. And then, maybe eating a cookie or drinking milk, Brittany Zibbles put up a link to something. Let me see what that is. Corey Aquarium Co-op versus Big Rich. Oh my God, how do I get rid of this now?
Oh, I don't know, man. At least it ain't going out on
Close
the
out.
air.
There we go.
I don't think.
There we go. We're back. All right. Yeah, that was when I confronted Corey from Aquarium Co-op. Because he had dissed us. I don't like rescues. They're this, they're that, blah blah blah. And I had set up for it, so I had Josh. I had a mic on, and I had Josh like 30 feet away, zoomed in on the camera to get to hear the mic. And I went up to Corey, and I'm like, dude, you do your thing, I do my thing, but why? Why would you diss us? We are such a great service to the community. We help so many people. And instead of arguing with me, he told me his points, which were valid, and I told him my points and he agreed. And, we ended up being friends after that. We did not have to fight it out or nothing. You know what I'm saying? He was decent about it. Oh, okay. Brittany put up that link because that's when we all first met. Got you. Brittany's at the end. You can meet Brittany and AZ. Awesome people. You guys can see, watch that video, that link that she posted right here. Go ahead and click on that and watch at the end, and you'll meet, Brittany and AZ. Suhan says, meet the Ziblises. Lauren says, Big Rich, in the Netherlands, we still have Sinterklaas, almost the same as Santa Claus. A uncle of mine dressed up as Sinterklaas, even in his own kind, didn't recognize him while standing in front of him. Oh, that's awesome.
Kids, I imagine.
Yeah, that's awesome. But you think little Laura wouldn't lose her mind if she saw Santa over there, you know?
Especially from the backside and didn't get a look at your face.
Right.
I mean, you're obviously Grandpa.
Well, even if I got to look at the face, I'll have the hat on. I'll have the beard and mustache.
Tuck your
This is
hair
all
in.
she'll see, and I won't wear the glasses, you know?
Tuck your hair in.
And tuck my hair in, of course.
It'll work. Better than seeing my skinny ass.
Good. Santa Claus on crack.
That's smart ass.
What happened to Santa Claus?
I've been partying with the Grinch.
Oh, shit. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, let's get some more questions going in here. I like how we all hang out every Friday and we just talk. You know, it's just it's a good Friday. I look forward to Fridays. Harley Jones says, do an accent rich. Alora will recognize your voice. You know? Ho, ho, ho. There we go. That's a little deeper. Merry Christmas. She won't recognize that.
Keep trying.
Keep trying. Fuck you, Jerry.
Thank you.
Thought you were supposed to be my friend over here. Uh-oh. Pete Diddy Cake says, I'm in Parma. If you ever need any help, watch our videos. We post when we need help all the time. All the time. We needed help today emptying the trailer. We couldn't get the trailer emptied. We had Luke here. We had Mark here, Reaper, me, and we could not empty the trailer. So I had to rent a trailer because Reaper's going tomorrow to basically Rod's shop over in New York to pick up a 600-gallon tank. And Harley says, Starry, still your voice.
Yeah.
Well, what's in the cup? Well, that is 3 fingers of Pinnacle vodka, 1 satchel of grape crush, and then filled it up with water. Oh, yeah. See, his auntie come up with it. I can be Santa and the little Christmas elf with Jerry. You can be the little elf, Jerry? You're not finding this funny at all, are you?
I'd rather be the, what do they call it, the bumble?
Oh, well, that's more my style. The big, you know, abominable snowman, the Bumble.
Yeah.
Bumbles fall, but they don't break.
They bounce.
Brittany Zibla says, not sure if you want help from P. Diddy in this climate. My puffer name didn't age well. Glad it was renamed. Rick Wooten says, me and Maritza are going to try and come out on New Year's so I can help you do something also. Yeah, Rick, you sit there and you pet the fish like last time. You just lay in that pool and you pet the fish. You're okay. Manny Davis says, Jerry, I don't you dress up as an elf or Santa's helper? Well, New Year's Eve seems like it'd be a good night. So come on out, have fun. That's only shit. It's what, the 12th today? So that's like 15, maybe 17, 18 days from now.
Yeah.
Brittany Zibble says, Suan, yes, or Titty. Well, at least someone got it. Oh, a bunch of people got it. You're okay. Barack Obama Run says you should have a real tank in the background. That is a real tank. That is my cichlid tank. You can see me walk on the screen and feed that tank. I don't want a tank inside my house.
It's about a 4-year-old picture of it, but
Lorenz says it's in 14 days. Let me go check that. To the calendar. 1, 7, that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 19 days is when New Year's Eve is.
okay, Rich is trying to start a countdown. What are we planning, a New Year's Eve bash here?
Hell yeah. Maritza's coming out with Rick Wooten, and they're always a blast. I don't know who else wants to come, but shit, come on, come one, come all to the midnight ball on New Year's Eve.
BYOB.
Bring your own bitch.
Yeah, I'm right.
All right, yeah, bring your own beer, bring your own, bottle, whatever, however you want to do it. See, here's the problem. I don't have a nurse on Christmas Day. I don't have a nurse on Christmas Eve. I don't have a nurse on New Year's Eve. I don't have a nurse on New Year's Day.
That could be a problem.
So I can't get messed up because I have to take care of Tracy.
Well, then don't get messed up.
Yep. I promised her she'd never have to go through that again, and I won't break my promise.
Or not to take days off.
Dude, I wish, like the day nurse, why you want to take off?
Every holiday is off. Every day after the holiday is off.
No, it was always just the
You have the
holidays.
long
Now,
weekend.
why do you have to take off Christmas Eve when you only work till 3 o'clock in the afternoon?
Yeah.
Okay. Then you're taking off Christmas Eve and you're taking off Christmas Day. I understand Christmas Day. Then why you got to take off New Year's Eve and then New Year's Day? Nobody does anything on New Year's Day. That's like the holiday's over. The whole holiday is New Year's Eve.
It's recovering, but I don't see where she's recovering. Anyway, 6 1 half dozen of the other.
Yeah.
It's up to the damn
Well, now she used to take off every holiday. Now she's taking off the holiday and the next day.
all right, we get a hold of Maxim tomorrow and start hammering on them about a replacement.
Well, Maxim is the one that
It's
told
up to
me.
them. It's up
She
to
didn't
them
tell
to
me.
replace her. Like,
Maxim told me.
yeah,
So,
well, it's
they're
up
already
to
on it.
Maxim to replace her then.
Jerry could play the Grinch. Now he'll fit right in there.
Yeah, I could do that.
Debbie Oak says, I just want to thank you and Josh and Jerry for all you do. I so look forward to your videos. Thank you. You help me get through my day. You're all wonderful. Play safe and have fun. Oh, thank you,
very
Debbie.
much.
I appreciate that. It's always nice to be appreciated.
I jumped again.
But we're good. We're at the end right here.
Yeah, Harley Jim's right. There's always a party someplace on the 31st.
Right. It's the night is the party. And you get off work here at 3 o'clock. So why do you got to take off that whole day until 3 o'clock so that you can go out and party that night? I don't know. All right. That's 2 down, guys. Here's my 3rd. Loren says, I'll hunt some OFR photos, Christmas photos, when you're all dressed up. You know what? Oh, Ronaldo says, is Mark still working with Josh and Richie? No. Mark quit after like 2 days. It was too hard for him. He couldn't deal with the work, the actual work.
Wow.
I mean, you see Josh's work ethic here, and then, on his houses and stuff, and his apartments and stuff, and Richie's work ethic is the same fucking way. there's no way Mark was like keeping up with them, and he just couldn't handle it. So yeah, he quit real quick. Oh shit. Ouch. All right, we actually dropped down to people. We only got 153 people now. There's Raheem. Remember I told you earlier his name was AJ Nabi Latka. AJ Nabi Latka. That's Raheem. I was talking about his name earlier. Xanthi says, I'll cover for you, Rich. I'll put on my nurse outfit and do the job. It won't be pretty, though. Just be warned. Love your spirit. Bob Taylor says, Josh is like the OFR Iron Man. See, what you got to understand is I had, so many different incomes coming in. I had my own carpet company that I laid carpet in daily. I bounced on, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. I played out in a band on Fridays, Saturdays, and, I was always fixing cars and, helping other neighbors out and, working on cars and getting that. They learned the same thing from me. When we bought houses, me and them would go in there and, they didn't never lay, carpet before or install drywall or put in sinks. And we did this together. My kids handed me tools. My kids were there with me. We got each house up and running, this and that. And, so, they learned from me doing this. And now that, I am so basically invested into Tracy, my time is mostly, take care of her. Josh has taken up, a lot on the outside. Ronaldo says, Josh does work like a beast. That kid doesn't stop. I guess I understand why Mark quit. Yeah, because he's lazy and he wants easy money. Sorry, Mark. Had to say it, bro. That's the truth.
Oh, no. Sorry.
The Brittany Zibla says, any news on the Amy Poehler podcast that now that Josh is doing better?
She has been away a while, hasn't she?
Yeah.
I got to excuse myself.
That turned out to be a false thing. They kept wanting us to pay for this and that, blah, 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 and all this. And, Josh went ahead and, because they wanted to go onto our Facebook format and then have their podcast on there. Well, Josh had to give them access, and they took over our Facebook. It was not Amy Poehler Show. It was some assholes trying to, take over our channel. And they did. Well, Josh was right on it. And, the next day, we had our channel back. They didn't get no money, no nothing like that. But we knew it was fake at this point. And, I even emailed the Amy Poehler Show, letting them know what this is happening and how they're trying, blah, blah, blah. But it was all fake. It was all fake. I was so excited for that show. I was so excited. But, what are you going to do? See, now, you guys are like, Skylar's this, Skylar's that. But, see, there's people out there that are actually trying to rob from you, rip off your channel, take your money, and rob you and do it in a way that you think I'm going to be on the Amy Poehler Show. Skylar's not that bad. She's just lazy and mean. If she would be nicer, she could be around here. I don't have a problem with her. I just want her to be nicer. Don't expect me to do for you. Don't expect me and yell at me that you need more from me or whatever. You know what I'm saying? What I do out of the nicest of my heart. be appreciative. That's all, you know. She's not a bad person. She's just very mean, and I think it was the way she was raised, to where she wants things her way, and that's all there is to it. So selfish that she don't think of anybody else, you know. So I'm not saying she's a bad person. I mean, like this person that did this to us with this whole Amy Poehler thing, that's a bad person. He's trying to rob us. Mandy Davis says, you both make my partner and I laugh so much, Rich and Jerry. Every Fishy Friday, my partner, his name is Richard too. Well, you know what? We get enough of us Richards against you, Jerry. He might have to go back to drinking.
No.
I said no. Bob Taylor says, quick, Jerry, get the sage. You left and I was talking about Skylar again.
I should have brought back the tip jar.
Well, I was actually sticking up for her too. She's not as bad as like this person that tried stealing our page from us.
Well, it's
She's
not
just-
intentional. It's just a person.
Lars Bremen summed it up. Skylar likes attention, and that's why she's like that. Yeah, exactly. And that's why, you know, Jerry can never get along with her. She took all the attention out of the room in every room she'd go from, you know? And then I had to walk around behind her from room to room and clean up after her. It was crazy. It was crazy.
All right. Thank you, Brittany.
Dude, the other day when I was drinking, look at my leg. What the hell did I do to my leg? You see all the blood spots? Oh, hang on. You gotta talk. I gotta go get Tracy.
Okay.
I'm coming, honey. I'm coming.
Fishy, 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 fishy. Tracy, everybody. We missed on a few of them. So, anybody got a question? Now Rich is back.
Well, Beatrice is here.
Oh, that's right.
She showed up at 7 o'clock. I don't know what time it is. It's 7:30. So yeah, Beatrice is here, and she was changing her. So she was over on her side, and the thing's beeping. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Harley Gem says another zinger. Unfortunately, it doesn't matter if it's good or bad attention. Yeah, that's her whole thing. She has to be center of attention constantly. Tyler says, Rich and Jerry, how's you two doing? Anything crazy or new we need to know? Let me see. I caught Jerry, yesterday looking at pictures of Skylar. He's gonna kick my ass.
Well, the man is sicker than I know. I'm feeling sorry for you. You can't let the fucking ghost die. Thank you very much, Raheem. For your birthday.
See, our solar micronova got it. They laughed. You didn't laugh. Sue Ann, she's blowing smoke up your ass, Jerry.
Hey, Sue Ann.
Debbie Oak says he looks shocked by that. Tyler says beefcake, Bob. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Oh shit! We having some fun now, Jerry.
Initially there was fun, now it's just sad.
Bob Taylor says, going to burn some sage in my bong. And he says sage
No,
like this.
no. Bad idea.
No, it's parentheses. It's not sage. It's
Sage.
weed. Come on now. Sometimes people, he just don't get it.
No, I actually had a guy file a complaint that I was smoking pot out in the hallways of the building when I was burning sage in my apartment, smudging.
Gotcha.
Man, I hate to, I got a whole bunch of stuff I could sell him if he thinks that's pot. Jeez.
Raheem, you're going to have to watch this video at the beginning and go to 6:30, and then there's a Tracy update. I can't go through all that again. Bob Trailer says she did once, floating and only fins.
I have no idea what he's
I
talking
don't know what that means.
I know. I have to go back a couple of conversations, sketch that one. I have no idea what he's talking about.
Oh, but Joyce, guys, you were talking about Joyce earlier. She did agree to come back over and get into the mermaid outfits and swim in the big pond with the pool.
Oh, is that what he's talking about?
I don't know what he's talking about. I'm saying it just reminded me that Joyce said that to me.
Thanks for the reminder, whatever you were talking about. I would love to go to the Netherlands, but no, sorry. Never been there.
Okay. Raheem said that name, his name that he calls himself, AJ Nabil Latka, means strange boy.
Okay.
Slam Boy says, do we water test? Yes, weekly. And since all of our tanks are on the same water, we can just water test the pool or water test the 4400. And it's all the parameters are the same because so much water is passing through all these tanks and going back to the filtration, and then the filtration overflows out the 2,000, gallons a day that we have coming in. Chara Richard says, I have an 8-month-old sulcata tortoise. Should I be feeding her insects? If so, what kind? They are 99%. Yeah, they don't eat meat mostly. You can buy like a whole head of romaine lettuce, soak it in water, put some calcium on it, and put it down there, and she'll eat the whole thing, or he'll eat the whole thing. And that's great. That's good food for him. Carrots, things like that. In the summertime, you can get hyacinth plants. You can take the flowers off. They love them. They actually love them. They eat the dandelions. They eat grass.
Chompers and pig for the dandelion.
Yeah.
He likes grapefruit.
So they're not much meat eaters at all. Like I'd say 90% vegetative, 10% meat.
They have to have their dry food though. They have to have their Timothy hay and their dry, because they don't
get yourself some of that. What's that tortoise food we have out there?
I can't remember the manufacturer.
Damn it.
Missouri.
Tortoise food, and we feed pellets. And sulcata tortoise, how big do they grow? They can get up to 300 pounds and 3 foot across. They're the second largest tortoise on the planet.
Your grandkids will see him that big.
Yeah.
It's a family commitment, man. Your grandkids are going to still have that tortoise when you're gone.
You can get them, look up, feeding the sulcata tortoise online, and it'll tell you all the different vegetables that are beneficial to that sulcata tortoise. Yeah. That's what we do. We throw heads of romaine lettuce in. We throw anything left over from meals in, and just let them eat. They are in the summertime. He eats all the grass, all the dandelions, and then we move the cage over because it's a 10-foot by 10-foot cage. We move it over, and we got 30 foot of room, He eats all the grass in this area. Then we move it over. He eats all the grass in this area in the dandelions. We move it over, and we keep feeding him pellets in between. And then anytime we do a head of romaine lettuce, because regular lettuce has absolutely zero,
Yeah.
nothing good for anything. You know what I'm saying? It's useless. Don't feed regular lettuce. Buy him a head of romaine lettuce whenever you want, and you just give calcium on it, and he'll eat that whole thing. And that's what they're good at. Char Richard says, yes, she's a will to my children. I am new at this. Yeah, you ain't got to worry about feeding it meat, or bugs or anything like that. They'll get what they get off of the grass. Like if there's like some I don't know, little bugs on the grass, I'll eat them too.
Yeah.
That's all. But
actually, Chomper makes a great lawnmower, but you got to move him every once in a while because he really likes the roots.
He goes down to the ground
and pulls the roots out and eats the dirt and everything. So, yeah.
Pythonosaurus says, have you ever thought about growing your own lettuce for Chomper in an aquaponics system? I wouldn't grow lettuce. I would grow romaine lettuce in an aquaponics system for sure.
Around here, the deer would eat anything. The deer and the squirrels and
our Solar Micronova says, how long is your mullet? Well, I won the Guinness Book of World Records for having the longest competitive mullet. And it was 39 inches from my part to the bottom of my hair. But that was after, if you guys remember, see this big spot on my arm? It still hasn't healed up. I was in a big fire and my hair dropped like 12 inches. And right before that fire, I was wearing a backpack air blower where it took off like 6 inches. So my hair was really short when I got into the Guinness Book of World Records.
He lost about over a foot.
Yeah, I mean it's still long now, but it's growing back. Jesus Lizard said, do you ever give fruit to the Pacu? Mine loves bananas and cherry tomatoes. Yes, all the time. We give them whatever is left over up in the kitchen. And you got to understand, we've got Jerry eating, and he don't follow my diet. We've got me eating. We've got, Steph and DJ eating, and, whatever's left over, we don't throw away. We feed to the fish, period.
Yeah, I've got a big bowl of black grapes and got about half eaten before they started getting wilted, so...
And you've got a bowl of blueberries out there right now.
Those are those black grapes.
Oh, them are black grapes?
Yeah.
I thought they were big blueberries.
No.
Okay, well, then we're going to go to the Pacu eventually, for sure.
They're already on their way, to tell you the truth. Maybe not tonight, but tomorrow morning when I feed.
Vincent's Reptile says, yo, what's up, Rich? What's up, Vincent? Yeah, them tortoises, they love their fruits. Watermelon is amazing for them in the winter or summertime. They love that shit. Any cantaloupe, any apples, they eat it all. But I try and keep them about 75% greens, because with the greens I can make them wet and put the calcium on it, and they eat it up. Lauren says it's a long time since I haven't seen Will Star in the chat. Well, he's just gone through a thing where his father has passed, so he hasn't been around the last couple of weeks. Okay. Raheem says, Rich, I stay in a flat. Can I keep a sulcata tortoise? That depends on your neighbors and how you do things. Give it a dog house. If you want it walking through your house, feed it, and you're fine.
They will dig their way through a wall.
They can. They do that. Like if you trap yours in the bathroom and they feel like they want out, they will dig through the wall. They will just keep scratching until that wall disappears, and then they'll bust their happy ass right through it.
They don't give up.
Vincent Reptile says, yo, whatever happened to Matt's Monster Fish? Well, he got out of fish keeping and he got into cars and car shows with his Mustang, and you know, and he got custody of his kid. So his kid's, you know, great, and he can go to car shows with his kid, and that's what he got into. You know, so he's not really into fish tanks at the moment. Bob Taylor says, tiptoe, anyone? See, there's people that don't know. Tiptoe is the name of a big sulcata tortoise online. And you got to watch him, you know, and you know, she shows how she takes care of her tiptoe.
There's that one friend of yours that had the sulcata tortoise in his basement. He had the fish room all above it, the dirt floor. And the sulcata tortoise lived in the fish room in the basement. And all the tanks and everything.
Well, they love the moisture. They love the heat.
Yeah. I mean, I sat down here and talked with him at the dinner table.
Okay.
That was one of the year before last at the convention or the OCI.
OCA. Jesus Lizard said he lost all of his fish in a power outage. I think about that often and always have multiple backups. See, a lot of times this has happened. It's happened to us. We lost a lot of fish here and there. That something has happened. Power went out. Something, and you want to quit. And then we kept on going. Some people didn't. You know. So Matt is now hanging with his kid, and you know his kid loves the car, and they're doing car shows. So that's his life now. That's okay.
Early John says much respect. Put his kid first.
Right. At Thibault says Josh was considering adding plants to most of the tanks, add natural filtration. Are you still consider? Okay, forget the word Josh. Okay, I have been putting plants in all of our tanks because the more plants I can get them, the better off we are. The less water we have to change, the less water we have to worry about because plants will eat the nitrates out of the water. And if I can save money, I'm going to do it. So we've got certain tanks that are set up with plants. We've got certain tanks you can't put a plant in there because the fish will uproot them and tear them up. We've got plants in our filtration. We've got plants in, you know, other tanks that are just, you know. So I mean, I've been doing this for a long time and keep adding plants to every single tank, any tank I can.
They get shredded once in a while, but
Okay. Tyler says, Tracy, guys, drink up.
thank you much, Tyler.
James McNally says, is there an animal or fish the Ohio Fish Rescue will not take in? No, we've taken in wolves, you know, we've taken in possums, we've taken in groundhogs, we have a much bigger outlet to where we can tell people, hey, we have this baby possum, anybody want it, you know, this and that, than somebody that finds a baby possum and they don't know anybody, you know. We have a bigger outlet, a bigger, what do you want to call that? Resources. We got much bigger resources than the normal Joe Schmo. So I never have said nothing to anybody.
There are exceptions. I mean, if somebody talks about a Komodo dragon or a coelacanth,
I'll take it.
I mean, you have to be able to house it.
I'll take it. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, a coelacanth.
Yep. I'll
Bigger
take
than
it.
the Pacu.
I'll take in a 16-foot Nile crocodile.
Go for
okay.
it. I would
find it a home for all the, we have what, 11 of the public aquariums that we deal with. Much easier than somebody else could that don't know all these people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I that's why I've never turned down any animal yet. Ever. Lauren says, if you have enough plants in your aquarium, you don't need any air to your aquarium. Usually, that's a bad thing to do there. Usually, let's say you got a 125. You can't have as many plants as it needs to oxygenate that air, you know, or that water, because it's the size of the tank. But in nature, let's say, okay, like these farmers' ponds in their farmers' backyards, they got big ponds, and you get these big bucket mouth bass. Have cattails and plants all the way around the whole pond. You can, you know, put a boat in there and go, you know, fishing and you know, floating in the boat. They don't change their water. They don't change any of that. They don't do water changes. There's enough plants, but the volume of water is so much bigger than a tank of water. Whether you got a 150 gallon or a 600 gallon, there you can't fill it with enough plants to handle that much water. In other words, it's helping you out. Yes. It's taking the nitrates out of the water and making it oxygenated. Yes. But it's not ever going to be enough in that 600 gallon tank of plants to say, I don't have to water change no more. I don't have to add air. It's the volume of plants in a pond that does it naturally. That's great. You don't have that volume in fish tanks, so please don't get mixed up in that.
No, you're never going to match the surface area in oxygenation. The one guy had Action Shack now has a really good point. At night, it's CO2 spikes, but what it is that there's a lot of plants that transfer and start using oxygen at night and discharging CO2. And it's not to such a degree that it's a problem unless you've got an awful lot of that one specific type of plant. But they can't actually add an oxygen factor to the tank
Right.
at night if you're not careful.
James McNally says, should you not call your company Ohio Animal Rescue because fish would imply that you only rescue fish? Tell you what, we're Ohio Fish Rescue and we rescue pretty much everything all the time. And, you know, we take on the responsibility of finding that, you know, animal a home. Whether it's a dog that wants to bite everybody, like we took in that husky that, you know, bit Kathy and kept on trying to bite everybody. That dog was in a rescue that was going to terminate the dog. And we did our best to find that dog a home. And then we ended up giving that dog back to the family it got taken from. They loved that dog and they had it, you know, for years, and it got taken from them. And then, you know, it was supposed to be put down, and, you know, we ended up finding a home back with them. They came here and that dog loved them. They were able to walk into the cage where no one else could. And, you know, but it took us like 4 months to find these people. You know, we had that dog for 4 months, and that dog was evil. It was mean. It wanted to bite anybody, you know. So the Action Stack says, Rich speaks the truth. I try all, you know. Well, because, you know, I had that brain surgery and I had the short-term memory loss. It was just easier for me to tell the truth, because anything you ask me, if I say the truth, that's what happened. If you don't want me saying it, don't do it in front of me. I will say the truth because it's so much easier for me. What happened that day? Oh, I remember that. Yes, we did this, this, and this. It's much easier. I don't have to worry about what lies I told that person or this person or, you know, any of that bullshit. Lorenz says that husky was a good dog. It was a real people dog. Certainly if it bit. Oh, Kathy. I love it. Oh, Lorenz, you're the bomb. Raheem said Tracy like 50 times.
Yeah, it's 8 o'clock. That's why he's saying Tracy.
Trying to get everybody drunk. Oh, here's the Tracy. Love you guys.
I think Best Chris family got that. Maybe Cat bit the dog, not with a C, but with a K. Kathy. The dog gave it rabies. I don't know.
Bob Taylor says dogs are a great judge of character. I could go in there. I was like the alpha male. I could go into his cage, and he would go and cower by his doghouse or whatever. I'd open the doghouse. He'd go in his doghouse. But Kathy went in there. And I'm like, Kathy, don't do that. You know, blah, blah, blah. And she goes, oh, no, I've seen him with you. You know, he's fine. And she went in there and she sat down next to it and she started petting it and it bit her hand. And I mean, blood was pouring from her hand.
I had to yank her out of there by her hair.
It was bad. It was bad.
I
The dog did not let go.
No, he was gonna mess her up. He was just looking for another hold, man.
So yeah, Jerry went out there and grabbed her, and you know, I'm yelling at the dog, and you know, finally he let go and went and cowered in the corner, and Jerry pulled, you know, Kathy out of the cage. I told you not to go in. I told her. I yelled at her. You. That doesn't matter. You're not me. You know, I've been messing with animals all my life. You know, you're not. I don't know. Let's not even talk about it. Debbie Oak says, wasn't Kathy the other cuckoo female that lived there? Yes, she was. She was absolutely insane. She had a dream that I tried beating up her dog and then was punching her. And Skylar was here with her mother, her father, her brother, and his two friends. And we had a bunch of people. There was like 20 people downstairs. It was New Year's Eve, and we were waiting for the ball to drop, you know, this and that. And it was like 10 minutes till the ball drops. And all of a sudden we hear, she comes running down the stairs. You fucking asshole. I'm calling the cops. We're all like, what the fuck? You know, everybody just looked at her and she's like, you tried beating my ass and you're trying to kill my dog. We're like, what? I've been downstairs for like 3 hours, right? With all these people. We're playing pool. We're watching movies, you know, TV and stuff like that. We're waiting for the midnight. And, you know, here she had a dream. It's the only thing we can figure. She had a dream and woke up and thought it was real. Because she called the cops. There was like, what, 20 cops here that night?
I don't know. I slept through the whole damn thing.
Oh, yeah, you did. We had like 20 cops here. And they separated everybody. And they talked to everybody, you know, separately. And Kathy's telling them that I took her dog, and it's pouring down rain outside, right? She said, I took her dog, which is a little Shih Tzu, little tiny dog, yapper dog. She said, I was out there, I was pounding him into the ground, and it was pouring down rain, and he's all muddy now, and this and that. And the cops were like, let me see the dog. And Skylar was behind the cop, and she's holding the dog. And, you know, as soon as, you know, she gives the dog to the cop, Kathy goes, there's my baby. And she's crying and shit, right? And I'm like, officer, if I did anything like that to that dog, you know, wouldn't you be scared of me? And I reached out and I petted the dog, and the dog's licking me on my face and everything else, you know. And not to mention, it would be wet and muddy from she's saying I'm pounding it into the ground, right? It was pouring down rain outside. The dog was dry and clean as can be, right?
Well, she was claiming you were hitting her too.
Then she said I hit her, and she said I punched her and grabbed her by her throat. And the cops, any of you all know this, if there's a female that says that she got hit by a guy, if there's a mark on her, you get arrested, period. Well, there was no marks on Kathy. She said I grabbed her by her throat, I punched her in the throat, I punched her in the belly. The cops were looking. There was no marks on her whatsoever. And then, you know, so the cops are like, look, we don't know what happened here. You know, obviously the dog's fine. You know, she's got no marks on her. You know, you're not going to jail, blah, blah, blah. But are you willing to pay for a hotel room for her so we can de-escalate this situation? I'm like, hell no. She's trying to put me in jail. I don't want nothing to do with her. You know, I want her shit gone. So they leave, and they take her with her and all this and that stuff. The very next morning, this is funny. This is fucking hilarious. The very next morning, I get a call from Reaper. He's like, dude, what happened last night? I'm like, what are you talking about? Because I didn't tell him about the whole Kathy and the police thing. And he goes, dude, Kathy sent me some pictures, and she's all scratched up, and she's marred up. What did you do to her? I'm like, dude, I didn't do nothing. And he sent me the pictures, and it looked like she took her face right here, and she scratched 4 scratches into her face, down her neck, self-inflicted, because if them were there while the cops were here, I would have went to jail, right? So the cops took her out of here, and she made these marks on her face the next day and sent it to Reaper trying to get pity. You know, look what your buddy did to me, you know, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, Reaper, holy shit. You know, if them marks would have been on there last night when the cops were here, marks weren't there. This is self-inflicted the next day. That's how demented Kathy was. She sent the pictures to Bambi. She sent them to Reaper. She sent all this stuff, you know. And I'm like, wow, I am so, you know, I never let her back in the house after that. She sent her family to come get the rest of her stuff and all this other shit. It was crazy.
Oh, my favorite part of the story is when the cops asked him if he'd be willing to pay for a motel for him.
Yeah. Hell no.
No, just get her out of here.
Yeah, it was definitely crazy. It was insane. I was like, I can't even believe what she's saying right now. I mean, are you serious? Do you really think that, Kathy? Do you seriously? I raised my 3 kids and never hit them. How am I going to hit you? You know, and all this other stuff. I don't know. It was just crazy. It was fucking insane. I've never seen crazy on that level.
And
You
in
know?
19 days, it's going to be New Year's again.
Right. I don't want to go to jail on New Year's. No women are allowed at my house on New Year's. Marissa, you can't come.
At least no women on psych drugs.
That was crazy. I can't believe that. And then the next day it got crazier when I got these pictures from Reaper. Like, what? Dude, if she had them marks on her last night, I'd have went to jail. You know?
By the time that happened, nothing Kathy did would have surprised me.
Yeah, at that point we had been so many different things that she did.
My big surprise the next day is how the fuck did I sleep through all of that?
I was the same way. There were 20 cops here. How did you sleep through that?
Well, I was pretty wasted.
I'll tell you what.
I ate some gummies and then was smoking on top of it, so I was pretty.
Skylar's parents weren't like impressed.
Imagine.
But they were my alibi. I was down there with them for like 3 hours. You know?
I bet they love being your alibi.
That was crazy.
Well, I'm gonna go. I gotta go feed the fish.
All right, guys.
Get them guys shut.
We're out of here. A double A 10X says some of these women are looking for a payout straight up.
Hey, those are the ones you can catch ahead of time.
You can see their plot.
It's the ones that don't know.
The ones that come out of the blue at you.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's not intentional. I mean, you can imagine how much damage a conniving bitch can do if she decides to do it intentionally. It's when it's unintentional. They don't really realize that they're that messed up. They believe.
They believe their own stories, yeah.
Capabilities of the human race, man. We're capable of lying to ourselves and believing it.
James McNally says, my auntie was a registered nurse before she retired, and she loves animals and fish. She loves scuba diving. She lives with her daughter in Nova Scotia. That means they know the king of bullshit. And she's on a tourist visa and comes back to Scotland for a... Okay, it got cut off there. Sorry you live close to that king of whatever. He lives in Nova Scotia. Terry's check says, you're such a nice guy. I don't know how you end up with these crazy people taking advantage of your kindness. Jerry's good. You know what? Jerry's been here, tried and tested. Okay? Not saying we didn't argue. We got in a couple of little arguments here and there. But you know what? Jerry's a good guy. I'm a good guy, and we can talk past that.
Wait,
you know?
Wait until the video when we're trying to cook together. Before you say anything else. Okay? Brittany's going to get a show.
Brittany deserves that show.
All right, people, stay fishy.
I'm not almost done.
Oh, I thought you were done. That's what I get for thinking. Every once in a while with a tour group, I'll say, hey, before we get in another conversation, goodbye.
He just walks off. He's gone. And I'm like, okay. I'll take over, I guess.
If I leave by his blind side and don't say something, then he continues talking to me.
Sue-Ann says, king of BS. Loren says, Sue-Ann, you're faster than me in the king of shit.
I hung my coat out in the fish room one day and he chewed me out for him standing there talking to my coat.
Oh, dude. I
That
come out
was
there.
good.
I didn't have my glasses on, and I see Jerry standing over there. So I start talking to him, and I'm doing something. I think I was watering plants or something, and I'm talking to Jerry the whole damn time. And you know, I realize he's not answering me, so I walk over to Jerry. I'm like, dude, seriously? And oh shit, I'm talking to his coat hanging up on the plant.
That was a good one.
I come outside on the back deck. I'm like, Jerry, what the hell? And he's like, what? I'm like, dude, I've been talking to you for the last 10 minutes and it was your coat. Oh, shit. Oh, Vasquez family says DIY, dumbest in YouTube.
That's a good rendition of it.
I like that. All right, guys, we're out of here. I'm on my third drink. Thank you, guys. It's been fun hanging out with you. I appreciate
Well, that's
it.
Tracy, everybody.
Tracy,
Stay fishy,
everybody.
my friends.
Another Tracy.
My battery ran out.
There's all three of my cups.
Technology got me again.
1, 2, 3. There's all my cups.
I gotta start the program with technology messing with me, and I end with it messing with me.
All right, guys. Stay fishy, my friends. Wait, Andy Davis says, I am a carer. I look after my partner and my daughter who got special needs, Rich. Well, more power to you. Congratulations. Thank you for doing what you need to do for your family, you know, and that's all it takes is caring. I don't understand why people say, you know, I'm this or that, because I'm just looking after my family. I'm just caring. That's all, you know. I don't know. But anyways, thank you. Taking care of your family and being an upstanding type person. And, you know, the rest of you guys, thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you for making my Friday nights fun. Excuse me. I appreciate it. And we're out of here.
This is
Stay
the
fishy,
longest
my friends.
drawn out goodbye I've ever seen.
You shut up, old man. Okay.
Travel well, people.